She was called the most beautiful woman in Turkish cinema. But at her lowest point, she weighed 45 kilograms. And nobody knew. Neslihan Atagül. A face that stopped people in their tracks. Big eyes, delicate features, the kind of presence that cameras love. Millions of fans across Turkey and beyond. But behind that image, a story that most people never heard. A childhood that started with nothing. A mother who bet everything on her daughter's face. A husband who drew a line in the sand over one scene on screen. And something that happened to her body at the peak of her career. Something she never fully explained publicly. Something that brought her to a hospital bed and almost ended everything. What was it, and how did she come back from it? And how did Istanbul, 1992. A poor family in one of the city's ordinary neighborhoods. Her father drove for a living. Long hours, modest pay, barely enough to keep the family going. Her mother stayed home, raising Neslihan and her older brother, stretching every lira as far as it would go. But the mother noticed something early. People stopped and stared at her daughter. Strangers on the street, neighbors, shop owners. The kind of attention that follows a child who looks like Neslihan did. So she did something that took courage for a woman in her position. She picked up her daughter and started walking into modeling agencies. One by one, she compiled a portfolio herself, collected photos, sent them to potential employers, followed up. No connections, no industry contacts, just a mother who believed in what she saw. It worked. At 8 years old, Neslihan was already in front of a camera, a television commercial. Then Tafida, Valenza Kids, sued us. Brand after brand noticing the girl with the extraordinary face. By 14, she was acting. Her debut in the dramatic comedy First Love earned her the Golden Cocoon Film Festival Award as a young talent. A poor family, a determined mother, and a face that the camera couldn't ignore. But talent noticed. Early comes with its own kind of pressure. And Neslihan was about to spend years learning exactly what that meant. The awards and commercials were a start, but the real work was just beginning. In 2008, her first serious television role. The series Falling Leaves. 34 episodes. The kind of commitment that teaches you more about the craft than any classroom ever could. After graduating from school, she enrolled in the theater department of Istanbul University. Not because she needed the credential, because she wanted to understand what she was doing at a deeper level. To take what the sets had taught her and build something more solid underneath it. In 2012, the Turkish-German film Araf, Purgatory, International Festival Awards. The first time her name traveled beyond Turkey's borders. 2013, Two Faces of Istanbul, a series that would turn out to be significant for reasons that had nothing to do with the script. 2015 was the year everything accelerated. 2 major projects back-to-back. All That Remains of Me from You, a film where she carried the lead, and then Kara Sevda, Black Love, Endless Love, a romantic drama opposite Burak Özçivit, one of the most watched Turkish series of that year. The show that gave her fans not just in Turkey, but across the Middle East, Russia, Eastern Europe. From a little girl in commercials to a lead actress in one of the biggest productions in the country. But on the set of Kara Sevda, something happened that nobody expected. Something that had nothing to do with acting. And it started with one scene. The scene was straightforward. A kiss between the 2 leads. Standard romantic drama territory. The kind of moment that gets filmed dozens of times across hundreds of productions every year. But this one had consequences. Kader Doğulu, Neslihan's partner at the time, 11 years her senior, one of the most recognizable names in Turkish music, watched it. And he didn't take it well. His response was immediate. He forbade Neslihan from communicating with Burak Özçivit. Not just on set. Outside it too. No contact. No conversations. Nothing. For 2 co-leads in an ongoing production, this created an atmosphere that everyone on set could feel, but nobody talked about publicly. Neslihan and Burak stopped speaking to each other, scheduling around each other wherever possible. 2 people sharing the same frame, living in completely separate worlds. The tension was real, the rumors were everywhere, and Burak? He moved on, met Fahriye Evcen on another project, married her. The man Kader had been so threatened by ended up building his own family with someone else entirely. But what Kader did, drawing that line, making that demand, it said something about how seriously he took Neslihan, how much she meant to him. Because a year after Kara Sevda wrapped, he proposed, and in July 2016, 200 guests, a lavish ceremony, and a wedding that Turkey had been waiting for. The girl from the poor family in Istanbul, married to one of the country's most prominent names. But the hardest chapter was still ahead. 2021, The Ambassador's Daughter, a major production. Neslihan in the lead role opposite Engin Akyurek. And then, everything stopped. She started feeling weak on set. Not the kind of tiredness that coffee fixes. Something deeper. Something that wouldn't go away no matter how much she rested. The diagnosis: irritable bowel syndrome, a condition that sounds manageable until it isn't, until it takes over your body completely. At 168 centimeters tall, she dropped to 45 kilograms. Think about that number for a moment. The woman millions watched on screen is the picture of Turkish beauty, barely keeping herself upright, too weak to film, too sick to pretend otherwise. She took 10 days off, returned to the city of Muğla where production was based, and collapsed again, hospitalized. Another 15 days. Then the conversation nobody wanted to have. She told the director she couldn't continue. The production rewrote the script around her absence. Other actors left with her. The woman who had been in front of cameras since she was 8 years old had to walk away from a lead role because her body simply refused to go on. Now you have the answer to the question from the beginning. That's what happened at 45 kilograms. That's what nobody saw coming. That's what she came back from. But did she come back? And what happened to the marriage that had survived Kara Sevda? When 2022 arrived and the rumors started again, the rumors started in 2022. A journalist with a reputation for knowing things before they became public made a claim. The couple was allegedly breaking up. Fans told themselves it was tabloid noise. Then 2023 arrived, and it wasn't noise anymore. Photos emerged, Kader and Alasata, with other women. Then something worse, allegations that he had been in a secret religious marriage, a nikah, with another woman for an entire year, a separate house, and the claim that Neslihan had known. Turkish press went into overdrive. Neslihan's mother spoke publicly. She said, "My daughter will divorce him." Neslihan reportedly moved out of their shared home. Kader was said to be begging her to delay the divorce, not for the marriage, for his career. The man who had once forbidden her from speaking to a co-star after one scene was now the one at the center of a cheating scandal. And then Azerbaijan, Baku, the Formula One Grand Prix. The two of them photographed together, holding hands, smiling, tender poses for the cameras. Nobody knew what to make of it. Fans didn't either. What actually happened between them, what was said, what was decided, they never gave a full public account. But in 2025, a son was born, their first child, together. And in 2026, Neslihan stepped back entirely. No new projects, no new series. A conscious choice to spend this year at home, with her son, with her husband, away from cameras for the first time in decades. The girl who was in front of a camera at 8 years old chose silence and called it the most important role of her life. But the industry hasn't forgotten her, and neither have the fans. Because there are reports of a Kara Sevda sequel on Netflix, the series that won the International Emmy. The series sold to over 110 countries. And the name attached to it, opposite Burak Özçivit, the same man whose on-screen kiss once almost ended her marriage. So now you have the full picture. The girl from the poor Istanbul family whose mother walked into agencies with a portfolio and a dream, who was in front of cameras at 8, who dropped to 45 kilograms at the peak of her career and walked away from a lead role because her body said no, who survived a public scandal that would have ended most marriages, who chose silence over headlines when it mattered most, and who may be about to return, opposite the same man whose kiss started everything. That's what happened at 45 kilograms. That's the answer the beginning of this story promised you. A body that gave out. A woman who came back anyway. Write in the comments. Are you hoping for the Kara Sevda sequel? And if this story surprised you, you're already in the right place for more.